Hey, hi everyone. Hello. I just want to check if everyone can hear me. Can you see my screen? Can you see my video? Can you hear my voice? If you can, let me know in the chat box. Hi Charlie. Okay, thank you for acknowledging. I started a little earlier because I just want to make sure there's no technical problems, right? Okay, since we are here and you are here, just want to find out where you're from and how long you've been trading for. Do let me know in the chat box. Oh, nice. Nice. What time is it there right now? Trading for 2 years. And how has trading been going for you? Hi, AJ. I'm good. Thanks for asking. My babies are fine. It's one boy and one girl and one boy. So I have been missing in action for like 2 years now. I spent the last 2 years just giving birth, basically. So a girl, and then shortly after, a few months later, I got pregnant again, and then a boy. Well, actually, it's I've been missing the action for 3 years. But yeah, I see you guys in between my pregnancies. But yes, thank you for asking. I'm guessing you're from. If you know who I am, it means that you have been following these webinars for at least 3 years. Because the last time I did a webinar was 2023, or was it 2022? So you guys have been following these webinars for a good amount of time. Okay, it's 5:30 here in Singapore, so we're just gonna wait like 1 more minute before I actually start the webinar. Actually, I can just slowly start because the first part will just be introduction anyways. Okay, so hello everyone. Hey AJ, Charlie. Yes, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Um, Bob and whoever else is here. Welcome to today's webinar hosted by IC Markets. We're gonna do a live trading session, right? We do this every Monday. We basically go on the charts, look for some setups, and then I share my input. Okay, let's go to the next slide. You guys know how this works. Every time before we start a webinar, we need to do these disclaimers because I need to remind you guys that these webinars should not be taken as investment advice, trading advice, or any kind of financial advice. Please take this purely as educational. We are here to learn. We are here to grow as traders. This is not a signals group. Okay, and a reminder, trading Forex and CFDs carry significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. So please do not risk more than you are able to lose. Okay. Most important thing in trading is actually, well, I mean, other than mindset, is a lot of it has to do with risk management. So if you cannot master risk management, honestly, it'll be hard for you to master like trading. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Introducing your host. Some of you already know me. For those who don't, my name is Cassandra. You can call me Cass. I am an investment analyst at Everest Fortune Group. I'm also a prop trader. For those who don't know what prop trading is, it's basically a test like that traders take. I mean, to be a prop trader, you have to take a test. You have to pass the test and then you get certified and then you get funded. So I have passed these tests 3 times. These tests require you to do a minimally 10% profit within 1 month without having a drawdown of maximum of 10% within the month and 5% within a day. So the whole point of me sharing this with you guys is not to, it's just to let you guys know that you guys are in good hands. I am a certified trader. Okay, so whatever I'm going to teach or share with you guys today will be my trading style and how I usually trade. Hey Jamilu, hi. Good day to you too. Okay, so other than that, Everest Fortune Group is a research firm. Okay, we do a lot of forex and equity research, cryptocurrency as well. But basically, they have won. Oh, they are the finalists for best forex and best equity research for multiple years. So it's just a reminder that you guys are in good hands and you guys can ask me whatever you guys want to ask me and I will answer it to the best of my abilities. Okay, by the way, I am a technical analysis specialist. Okay, so if you ask me about fundamentals, I may not be able to answer you that great compared to someone who specializes in fundamentals. But if you're gonna ask me anything about technical analysis, I should be able to, you know, give you some clarity. Okay, cool. So our agenda for today will be the usual key approaches, cheat sheet, and the live charts. So let's go on to this. For those who don't already have this slide or have this written down somewhere, I do urge you guys to like save this or screenshot or whatever it is, because I personally use this for trading. Okay, so whenever I am going to do a trade setup or whenever I'm doing back testing, I do reference this list. I do go and look like, oh, are there any horizontal levels on the charts? If they are, I'm going to mark it out. Are there any trend lines? Are there any channels? Are there any other parts? Oh, sorry, chart patterns that cross, golden cross, any natural moving average, stochastics, basically whatever indicators that I notice. And then I ask myself if I'm going for a reversal or am I going for a breakout, right? So I do use this checklist. I do urge you guys to also use this checklist if you don't already have it. Okay. Other than that, let's move on to the chart. So thanks for staying for the introduction. We have a healthy amount of time today. I remember last week was a little like we were like rushing, but we have a good amount of time today, so we can go look at the charts, look at multiple charts. Do let me know in the chat box what charts you guys want me to look at so that we can look at it together. Okay, I'm gonna bring the charts over. Can you guys see my chart? My trading view screen. Can you guys see my trading view screen? This is what I drew up last week when we did the live analysis session. Fortunately or unfortunately, it didn't play out the way we intended it to. Okay, so remember last week. Hi, Simo, or yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Yes. Hi, Simo. Okay, so last week we did this and I said that goal, I'm biased that goal is on gonna do like this downtrend thingy, okay, right? And it did do the downtrend, it did reach our take profit. But the problem was that there was no entry. So I wrote everything down here. I said the requirement to get into this sell entry, it must break the key level of 3-1 this level. Yeah, basically, sorry, I think I moved this by accident. Yeah, so it must break this level. It did break that level, so we can see that the break happened here. You know what, let me just clear this chart so that it's not that messy, right? Okay, why am I doing this? Because last week we did this analysis together and I wanted to show you guys what happens when a trade works out or it does not work out. Whatever happens, you guys must go back and review the trade, because if you don't review the trade, you don't know what you did right and you don't know what you did wrong. So we did this setup last week. We just want to know what happened. Did it work out? Did it not work out? So the conclusion was that there was no entry, okay, last week when we did this analysis, but the overall analysis was correct, which is a good sign. It means that our direction is correct, our analysis is correct. It means that we can just repeat the same method on other charts, or like right now we can repeat it again and probably get high probability analysis. Okay, analysis was correct, good job. It did not retest, so let's find out what happened. Okay, so requirement to get in the sell entry, it must break 3196, which it did. It broke 3196, so we had it down. Remember I said it has to come back and retest that area. So what I wanted it to do was, I'm gonna do this like playback thingy. Okay, so whenever there is a breakout, right? We were playing a breakout. We were not playing a reversal pattern. Okay, so we're playing a breakout. The requirement that I need for a breakout is for price to break, right? There was this very strong support here. Price broke the support. I need price to come back, retest this now resistance. If it rejects, we get in here for a sell, okay? Only if it rejects. Why do we have to do a retest? If you guys know the answer, just throw it into the chat box so that I know that we, you know, every time you say something, it's kind of like reaffirming information within yourself as well. So why is it so important to do retests? So that you avoid fake outs. Okay, it is so that you avoid fake outs. So price has to come here. You go down to the smaller time frame, wait for rejection to happen in this area, and then that's when you can enter. If there is no rejection, do not enter the trade. What do I mean by rejection? Rejection pattern candlestick. These are all the rejection. Okay, so it's basically this like doji looking spinning bottom. All these are rejection candlesticks. Okay, so you just had to Google basically like a hanging man, shooting star, bearish engulfing, evening star. Okay, so you need to wait for price to get here. You see the rejection candle and then you get in. If there is no rejection candle, do not get in, because you do not have the green light to get in, right? Okay, so we are going to play. Price is moving, price is moving. Okay, we're just gonna ignore that. There's nothing to do with us. Okay, price is here right now. Do you see how price came to this area? Do you see how price came to this area? And then there was no rejection candlestick. Price came back and then it just burst back up, showing that the bearishness has decreased and price is not going to turn from here. Therefore, we do not have an entry. Okay, we do not have an entry. Please remember, guys, to become very profitable in trading, I just want you guys to know that you're gonna go on the chart, you're gonna look for some setups, and then what you're gonna do most of the time is wait. You're gonna sit down and wait for things to happen. So we were here waiting, it didn't happen, that's okay, we don't get in for that trade. You cannot force the trade. Okay, so we're gonna reanalyze gold again today. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. Okay, I mean, I know Jamilu has been here for a while, AJ as well, because you knew that I was pregnant before. Anyone else have been trading for a long time? Charlie said that he's been trading for 2 years. Anyone else has been trading for a long time? Do let me know what are your results in trading? How's it going so far? How is trading going for you guys? Everyone shy to say? Okay, the reason why I'm asking is because to be profitable in trading, it's going great. Okay. Thanks, AJ. Thanks for sharing. To be profitable in trading, a lot of times you need to do back testing. A lot of times you need to do a lot of waiting. A lot of times you need to do... It's a lot of patience. I honestly, if I'm going to be very honest, trading is like 80% mindset. It's just not over trading. It's just being disciplined. It's just, you know, just not FOMO, right? If you can do that, you already won half the game. Okay, so let's do an analysis, and hopefully this time we have an entry. But the whole point of me showing you guys this analysis is not so that we have a trade to get in on. The whole point of these live analysis sessions is not for you guys to get in on any trade or look for a setup or like look for an entry today. The whole point is to show you guys how I usually get in on a trade. Okay, so that you can take this knowledge and then go on a different chart, or anytime you are alone at home, you can use the same method to look for a setup. Okay, the whole point is to learn how I usually do it, because every time, sometimes you come onto these webinars, it's a different speaker, right? A different speaker will have a different style of trading. Today, because I'm taking you guys today, I'm just showing you guys how I usually come up with my setups. It doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to get into the markets today, or I am going to get into the markets today. It just means that this is how I usually do my analysis, and then on a normal day, you can try to use this method as well. Okay, so what I usually do, I have recently gone back to trading. I recently started trading again. So as you guys know, for some of you, I was away for a while because I was pregnant and whatnot. For that period of time, I did not trade, but I was an investor. So rather than coming to the market and sitting down and looking at the charts every day, all day, what I used to do is, because I was so busy, I was pregnant, I was vomiting so much, yada, 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 I have toddlers, I'm so busy, I would do swing trading. Okay, so I would buy and then I will hold for a really long time, and I would sell once I think it reaches a good price. So my trades can last for like months, right? I actually have a trade that's like within a year. I'm like in a lot of profits, but I've been holding for it for a year now. Okay, so that's that. But now I've recently started day trading again because I've recently activated my prop trading accounts. So that means I'm on the chart daily. So what I do, because I am a day trader, I look at the 4 hours, the 1 hour, and the 15 minutes. Okay, so the chart that you look at depends on how long you want to trade. I am a day trader. I look at the H4, H1, and then sometimes the 15 minutes. Okay, if you want to go even tighter, it depends on how Okay, I guess that's like more for swing trading. For swing traders, you can look at the H1, 15 minutes, and 5 minutes. Okay? Okay, cool. So I am looking at day trading, not so much to swing trading because I'm back in trading, but still not as active as before. Okay, so I look at this chart. So what am I looking for when I'm on the bigger time frame? I'm looking for trend. I am looking for trend. I need to know if price is going up or it's price going down. This is so important because if I can determine the correct trend, I would have won like I think 30% or 40% of the battle. So can you guys let me know in the chat box where current price is right now? Do you think that price is on a uptrend or do you think it's on a downtrend? Just let me know in the chat box so I know you guys are following me, and then I can show you guys how I usually do my analysis. Don't be shy, we're all here to learn. This is a learning process. Okay, someone Simo is saying up. Anyone else sees anything else? Jamila is saying downtrend. Okay, honestly, I personally see a downtrend as well. That's the thing about trading. Like 10 people can look at the charts and 10 people can see different things. So I personally see a downtrend. Simo, if you see an uptrend and you can tell me why, that'll be great so that we can also consider your perspective, right? But I personally see a downtrend as well. I'll let you know why it's a downtrend. So what constitutes a downtrend? A lower high and a lower low. Lower high and lower low will constitute a downtrend, right? Lower high and lower low. So it's not very obvious, but it is from my point of view also a downtrend. Thank you, AJ. So the AJ is also seeing a downtrend. It's okay if you see something else. That's the whole thing about trading, right? Everyone will see something else. But I personally see a downtrend, so let's just go with that for now. Okay, so now that I see a downtrend, I'm going to chart a downtrend trend line, a bearish trend line, right? So we can see that it's doing lower highs, lower lows. There is a breakout here where we shouldn't be too concerned about that yet. Why? Because this is a 4-hour time frame. Price hasn't closed yet. It could possibly still close red, right? But at this current point of time where price has already closed, I'm gonna base off this last candle here. You cannot base off this candle because it hasn't closed. I'm only gonna base off this last candle. It is still a downtrend. If it closes like that, we can consider this as a breakout, right? If it closes like that, it is a possible breakout. But we shouldn't be too concerned with that now because breakouts can also be fake outs. Okay, so I'm just gonna give a gauge of what I see, a downtrend of what I see. Okay, let's see, downtrend. It's gonna test 3265. Okay. Yep, I see what you are referring to. Okay, thanks for bringing that up. Okay. So yes. So Seymour brought up a really good point that's gonna test 3265. I see 3265 area. I see what you're talking about, but right now it's also on a very good resistance. Okay, I'm going to draw some support and resistance. So right now my consensus is that it's on a downtrend. I could be wrong. Just to let you guys know, even though I have been a profitable trader most of my career, I could still be wrong, okay? So at this current point, I see a downtrend, but you know, I could be wrong. Okay, so other than the downtrend, one thing we want to highlight is that this part is a very strong resistant area. Not strong, but there is a resistant area here that we want to take note of. Okay, where's my pen? Where is the brush? Oh, there you are. Okay, price came here one time, it bounced off. Price came here a second time, it couldn't break and it bounced off, and then it finally broke, and then now price is here. If it cannot respect, I expect price to continue the downtrend. If it can respect, then you know it could be a breakout. It could be the end of the downtrend, and then we're looking at an uptrend. But right now, because there's no indication of a change of trend, I'm gonna go with that it's a downtrend. Okay. Furthermore, there's this bearish trend line. Okay, I know it looks like it broke, but for it to be a downtrend, just remember it has to be lower lows, lower highs. Even if it broke here, technically it still hasn't broken this high yet, right? It still haven't broken this high, which Simo pointed out, which is the next high. Okay, this is the next high, 3265. It breaks down. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was still in the replay move. Okay, but yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you, Siri. Yeah, that was silly. Okay, anyways, good thing price is still here though. Ah, okay. You know what? It actually does look like a breakout. Now that we are at where current price is, it does look like a breakout. Give me a moment to reanalyze this. We shouldn't be too caught up on the trend though, because trend is just a reference. It could be like this, but even if it's like this, right, it is still a breakout. Okay, honestly, it looks like a very clean breakout. It looks like a very clean breakout. Yeah, okay. I'm going to reanalyze this area. I'm gonna put it this way. Price would now need to... Why am I drawing a zone rather than... Why am I drawing a zone? Because price is a zone. Support and resistance is never just one line like that, okay? It is never just one line. It is always a zone, right? It is always a zone. Okay, so let me see what I can find. Price came here once, came here a second time, coming here the third time. I mean, if we're just playing support and resistance, this could actually be a good zone for a sell, right? If we're just wick to body, yeah, it could also be wick to body. Yeah, so I'm gonna point out that there was wicking here. There was a body here, there was a little bit of wick there, there's a little bit of here happening, a little bit of this happening here, and this happening, this happening. So I would say yes, this is a good zone for price to react off. Price is now reaching a very, very good zone. Okay, if I am just playing based on support and resistance, right? If I am playing just on support and resistance, I honestly would be looking out for a sell. In this area. Okay. Let me see how strong this area is. I'm gonna now pull out I'm gonna now pull out some indicators, some technical analysis to support my bias. Yeah, this is an area we can look into. 1, 2, 3. Probably no projection. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I can pull out a Fibonacci expansion. Pulling out Ichimoku. I don't love this. If you guys have been trading with me for a while, you know I use a lot of Ichimoku. Ichimoku is a delayed indicator, so it's not the best indicator to use anyways, but yes, Ichimoku is showing that there is a possible trend reversal. Possible trend reversal. Projection. Okay. It seems like there is it seems okay guys, I dare not tell you guys, disclaimer again, please take this as educational, do not take this as a I'm not a signals group guys, I'm not here giving you guys signals. Okay, what I see is this being a strong zone. So this part where it's gray, I'm gonna change the color so it's more obvious. I'm gonna change it to blue. Okay, there you go. Blue. This area, I think, is a strong zone of rejection, like a strong, basically a key level. Price, I can foresee, I mean, this is what I'm thinking. Price gonna come to somewhere around here. I don't know where in here, and then it's gonna turn, right? That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. Okay, more likely, I think it's going to happen here in this area. Here in this exact area here. Why do I think it's that area? Because I think it's like gonna wick in that area. Yes, because this is where the 100% Fibonacci projection is. The negative 27.2 Fibonacci expansion is 50% Fibonacci retracement. So we're talking about 3 Fibonacci levels all lining up in the same area, right? You know what? It could actually just reverse now. It doesn't even have to go there. It could just reverse right now. Like right now, as we're speaking, it could just slowly reverse. Okay, but I think based on Fibonacci, based on what I'm seeing, I think it's most likely going to be this area. Okay, so I'm gonna give it's a zone. So every time I do my analysis, I always look for the zone, and then from the zone, I narrow down where I think the entry is going to be. I cannot have an exact number, but I have an area, and then I'm gonna like keep my eyes on that area. So I cannot be staring at the charts all day, every day, right? So I usually have an alert on. You can set an alert and notification. So I'm gonna set an alert, and I'm gonna tell TradingView, once price reach close to this area, update me again so that I can check for confirmation. Okay, so when price gets to this area, take note, okay, price could just reject right now and then make a U-turn right now. It could do that right now. Okay, when price gets to this area, what I'm going to do is wait, go to the smaller time frame. I'm going to go to the 1 hour or even the 15 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is wait for price to get here, and then I'm going to wait for a rejection candlestick pattern. Okay, I'm going to wait for hanging man, a shooting star, a bearish engulfing. I'm going to wait for evening star or whatever. I'm sure there are more actually. I'm going to look for a, sorry, it's loading. Spinning top, doji. Actually, a spinning top and doji is just uncertainty. The best is if you find a reversal pattern candlestick. Okay, if you find a reversal pattern candlestick, that is a good indication that price is going to reverse there. Okay, so I'm going to wait for price to get there, and then I'm going to decide whether I want to get in when I see the reversal pattern candlestick. If I see it. Okay, if I don't see it, then I'm not getting in. Okay, the other thing is, so there's two possible entries. One is here, price, or right now. Why do I say right now? Because the last time price came here and it just rejected. The last time price came to this area and it just rejected. So it could also be somewhere along this area. That's why I'm going to keep going to the smaller time frames to check if I see any reversal pattern candlestick. Once I see a reversal pattern candlestick close, it needs to close, okay? If I see a reversal pattern candlestick close, that is where I'm going to get in for a sell. Okay, but guys, I don't have that kind of time to like just sit in front of the charts and look at every candle close. Okay, I can't keep coming back every hour to check because I have other stuff to do. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be my analysis for today. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, that's totally fine. I'm going to put my entry somewhere along this line. My stop loss is going to be somewhere along this line. And then my take profit is going to be somewhere along. Okay, honestly, since I have gone back to trading, I've actually been doing a lot of big trades. So big trades, when I talk about big trades, I'm talking about trades that are like 1 to 10. My last trade was 1 to 4. 1 to 3.6. So I was risking 1% to make 3.6%. Okay, I was risking 1% to risk 3.6%. When I'm looking at this chart, I see so much potential. What about gaps? Yeah, right. You're right. That's the problem. You might have gaps. So because when I trade, I'm like, I do way more analysis than this. Okay, I pull out like everything. I pull out RSI. I just pull out everything under the sun, and then when I'm very, very sure, then I go down to the smaller time frame, and then I wait for the reversal pattern, and then my stop loss is very tight. So when I play a very tight stop loss, I can do like 1 to 10 trades. Not always, but yeah, a lot of time it does. Right, so I see like so much potential for this trade. It could do this. We can do this. It could do this. Right, it could do this. It could do this. We're talking about 1 to 4 or 1 to 7. But it has to be the point that this has to be so accurate that it just comes up here and then just turns. Right, if it comes up here and then just do this side things and then just does this side thing and then wicks, then we're gone. Then like I'm gone. My stop loss is triggered and then it might go back down. It's the same thing as what usually happens with gold. So the thing about gold that you need to be careful. Okay, recently I haven't been trading gold. Okay, because I noticed one problem with gold is that it wicks a lot. Do you see how long the wicks are? Like gold wicks a lot. I'm not saying that other charts don't wick, but gold especially wicks a lot. It just takes people out, It goes and like take you out, hit your stop loss, and then it just reverses. A lot of time this happens to me in the past. So for gold, what I have noticed, that's why you have to do back testing. If you do back testing, you will know every characteristic of a chart. So the chart that I do a lot of back testing on is XAU USD, EUR USD, and Ethereum. Okay, I do a lot of back testing on these charts. It can be EUR USD or GBP USD. Okay, so for gold, you might want to put your stop loss a bit like wider. So if it's wider, then your risk to reward wouldn't be so great, but at least your chances of getting stopped out will be lower as well. So let's say we're going to play it down to this next swing low, to the next swing low here. We're talking about 1 to 2. It's not great, but it's healthy. Okay, it's not great, but it's healthy, because if price comes here and then it wicks you out, most likely the wick will miss your stop loss, right? But I mean, this is just my analysis. Again, please don't, please. Yes, you're right, Simu. Gold is very sensitive to any kind of news. On my demo account, I've been using stop loss. I've not been using stop loss and just take 20 to 50 pips profit. I need to be sure if it goes my favor. Yes, please always use the stop loss. Okay, the number one way to do this long term. Okay, I just want to change your mindset a little bit. I don't know why everyone comes into trading thinking that it is fast money. Trading is not fast money. It can be fast money if you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's not a sprint. Guys, trading is a marathon. So because it is a marathon, your habits when you are trading needs to be very disciplined. Okay, you cannot do things that, like, okay, I think I want to be a risk taker today, I'm going to not use a stop loss. No, use a stop loss every trade. Count your risk to reward every trade. Use the correct lot size every trade. Do analysis every trade. Don't go in and like, oh, I think the news is bearish, I'm gonna go in for a sell right now. You didn't even do analysis. Please, this is a marathon. If you want to make lots of money in trading and you want this to last a long time, you need to do your analysis and you need to do back testing, whether you like it or not. I don't like doing back testing, but it's so tedious, but actually it's kind of fun. It's tedious, but it's fun at the same time. But if you don't do back testing, you don't know the characteristic of a pair that you are trading. Okay, I have done back testing on XEU USD so much, that's why I know it wicks a lot. Look at the wicks. There's always wicking. It's always hitting people's stop loss. There's a lot of like institutional trading going on. People are just going to like take out your stop loss and then turning back to the correct direction that you first analyzed. This happened to me so many times, but it happened to me when I was back testing. So I wasn't using money. I wasn't using my account to do it. It happened to me when I was back testing. Back testing is so important. Okay. Okay, so this is what I have for XAU USD. Let me see what the indicators have. Bullish. Structurally. Yep. Break. Actually, that looks like a diversion. Hold on. Hold on, give me a sec. Ay, ay, ay. Do you guys see this? There is a bullish diversion. Price on RSI has shown a breakout and a uptrend, but on the charts, it is still showing a downtrend. You see that? This could be a first indication of a trend reversal. I can see why price is going sideways because people are probably uncertain right now. Okay, if price is going to go sideways, you can just play the sideways market. If you think it's risky, just stay out of the market. But basically, if you're going to play the sideways market, you can just play it within this zone. Okay, sorry, that was a really bad rectangle. Play it within the zone, price just continue moving here, come back here, and then come back here, and then just keeps moving sideways until the price finally decides to break out. Okay, so that's all I have for gold. Let's move on to the next chart. Let's move on to the next chart. Let me see on the smaller time frame. Guys, I'm doing analysis with you guys because I too need to find a trade for today. I have recently gone back to prop. I'm recently started trading again, so yeah, breakout, and then this showing trend reversal. This could be early sign of trend reversal. Also, Ichimoku did show a bit of trend reversal signs. Do you want to get in for a sell? Okay. If you guys, if I end up not getting in for the sell, I might actually play the breakout here. Okay, so that's one thing I need to do when price actually comes to this area. Price needs to get to this area, and then I will reanalyze the charts again. But basically, right now it's going sideways. Okay, let's look at nice. Oops, sorry. Why does it almost look like gold? You know what? Let me reference the bigger time frame. On the very big time frame, it's an uptrend. On a very big time frame, it's an uptrend. On the smaller time frame, it's a downtrend, but it looks like there's a break here. It looks like a break is happening. Okay, based on this alone, I'm a little biased that price is on an uptrend. Price is on an uptrend, so I want to get in for a buy. Your analysis should be that quick, to be honest. You shouldn't be spending so much time analyzing. You know, the more you look at the charts, the more you confuse yourself. So I look at it, I think it's an uptrend. I see that price is doing a break here. Yep, I'm gonna play a breakout. I think this is a very nice breakout. Looks like a very nice breakout. What I want to see price doing, same as gold for last week. I want to see price break, come back down, do the retest, and then get in for a buy. That's what I want to see happen. You can get in for if you get in for a buy right now because you think it's gonna buy, it might end up being a fake out. Okay, this could be a fake candle. It could just end up closing red and then coming back down. So please do not do that. We are not gambling here. Trading is not gambling. Trading is calculated risk. Okay, so what I want to do, wait for price to break, come back down, and then I'm going to go in for a possible buy. I'm going to look for my next zone because my next zone is going to be my... Where is it? My next zone is going to be... I'm going to stay on the 4 hours. Honestly, you can apply the same method to a lower time frame. So let's say you can look at the 1 hour. If you don't want to look at the 4 hours, you can. Oh, for retest, the retest I go to 1 hour. Sometimes if I don't want to wait anymore. I'm looking at the chart right now. I want to see if there's possibility. I look at the 15 minutes. But most of the time I look at the 1 hour. Okay, so we can see that there's a nice break here on the 1 hour. Where's my candle? Okay, there you go. A nice clean break. There's a nice clean closing above that zone, but we shouldn't take this too seriously because the zone can be even wider. The zone can even be like this, right? Because I don't know who said it just now, but someone said wick to body. Remember? Let me see. Someone said it. Oh, yeah, it was TY. So TY is saying that it can be wick to body. So if I'm basing it wick to body, technically this zone can still be here. So I need price to like break out of this zone, come back, and then, okay, if you're looking at the 1 hour, then go to the 15 minutes, wait for the reversal pattern candlestick. Please wait for the reversal pattern candlestick. And then you can consider getting in for buy. Sorry, I can consider getting in for buy. Disclaimer, please don't follow my trades blindly. Okay, where am I buying it to? Now we need to go back to the charts to look for our... So tiny. I'm gonna buy it to this next zone. Next zone. Okay, zone is not very clear because this zone is too big. This zone is too big, so it's very hard to find the next zone. What I'm gonna do is use fib to find my take profit. 1, 2, 3. What are we looking at? I see one here. I mean, to be very safe, I do want to play it here. Okay. See, this is why you don't enter trades blindly. Do you see that candle slowly coming back down? It could end up red. This candle could just close red and a really long wick, and it will just my entire analysis could be wrong, right? So that's why you always have to wait for the candle to close. If you don't wait for the candle to close, you might end up burned really badly. If that candle closes red or like this, it could still mean price is trying to respect this area and then it could just come back down. Okay, so we're only 1 hour. Okay, I got it. So if you guys want to trade fast, you can just go down to a smaller time frame and look for analysis and look for trades there. But is that a reversal pattern candlestick? If the candle closes like this, that is a reversal, that is a spinning top. Okay, a spinning top, I mean, sometimes it indicates uncertainty, but it also can indicate a reversal. It could also be an evening star, right? So if it's green, this doji looking thing appears, and then a red candle appears, that is your sign to get in for the sell. Okay, so again, conclusion for EUR/USD. I'm either waiting for the break of this zone, a break, or I'm waiting for a reversal signal to get in for the sell. Okay, this can go two ways. Actually, all trades can go two ways, but yes. Let's find the higher probability. Although this can go two ways, I want to see which way would it most likely go. Oh, nice. Very nice breakout of the Ichimoku cloud. I know some traders will be looking at me and being like, oh, you use Ichimoku. Yes, I use Ichimoku. Ichimoku has made me so much profits. Like, Ichimoku is so amazing. Look at this. If Ichimoku breaks to the bottom price, you enter here for a sell, you just keep selling, you just keep selling, you just keep selling. You'll be in so much profits. Okay? If it breaks to the upside, you can enter for buy. You know what I mean? That's the whole gist of Ichimoku. So although price can go two ways, I'm right now a little bit more biased for a buy. Okay, so when we do analysis, remember trading is everything factual, everything logical, nothing to do with emotion. Based on logic, what do we see? Trend line breakout. Okay, bias for buy. Why am I biased? Trend line breakout, which is here. There's a nice, like, sorry, this is not drawn very nicely, but yes, you get my point. Okay, trend line breakout, first indication. Okay, trend line breakout, that's my first reason for being biased for a buy. Okay, second reason, Ichimoku cloud breaking to upside. Second reason for a buy. Third reason, sorry, before I put my third reason, I'm going to put my requirement to enter for this, right? It has to be a breakout of this support and resistance, okay? This red box that I drew here, it needs to break this red box here. It needs to break. Break, zone, come back, retest, confirmation on smaller time frame with reversal pattern candlestick. Okay, so okay. What's my reason? Okay, there you go. Daily showing bullish. You zoom out and you'll see bullish. Zoom out and you'll see bullish. Okay? If you zoom out, it is still bullish. See? It is still bullish. It is still moving on an uptrend. So I would like to believe that it's an uptrend. Okay, forget about gold. I think gold didn't give us a very clear analysis. I think I'm quite happy with EUR/USD at this current point of time. I'm happy with EUR/USD. What am I going to do now? I need to find an entry, stop loss, take profit. So my entry is going to be somewhere along this line. My stop loss is going to be right below this zone. Okay, so why do I put it along this zone? Because if price has already broken this area and it come back and retest and there is a rejection candle, I do not expect price to come below this zone again. Okay, unless it wicks. If it wicks, then you know, like, I couldn't help that one, you know. I couldn't help that price was wicking, but yes, if price comes here and reject, I don't expect it to come below this zone anymore. Therefore, my stop loss is going to be below this zone. Okay, where am I going to put my take profit? That is the next question. So I'm going to put stop loss, take profit. That's why being able to find support and resistance is so important, because support and resistance will be your entry, your stop loss to take profit. I mean, I see this 61.8. I see this 61.8 here. And I also see like this price coming here, rejecting 1, 2, 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. So I see that as a good area of price coming to. But before it comes, like it reaches there, it might do this. Sometimes it might wick you out and then go, right? So to be safer, you can put it slightly. Okay, no. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stick with the original plan. Okay, now that I have my analysis, what am I gonna do? The rest of the day, I'm just going to wait. That's all I'm doing. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for price to do this, reject, I get in. If price doesn't do that, I'm not getting in. And then I go and look for my other setup. That's why there's no trade. Like, you know, sometimes for me, right, the entire week, I can just do one trade. But that one trade makes me 4%. But of course, I'm a swing trader, so, and I'm also looking at a bigger time frame. If you want more trades, you can actually go down to the smaller time frames to look for more trades. But yeah, I am looking for my trades on the 4 hours. That's why it could be like I do my analysis, my requirements are not met, I don't get in. But when my requirements are met, I get in and then I make a very healthy profit, because the only time I get in is when it's a high probability trade. If it's not high probability, do not get in because you're gambling. Nothing about trading is gambling. Trading is logical, factual, and risk. Everything is calculated risk. Okay, everything is calculated risk. So if it doesn't meet your requirement, there's no need to force the trade because you're just going to lose money. I think people, I always hear people saying like, oh, I don't want to do forex trading, it's too exciting. Forex is not exciting. It is so boring. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So many times it is just waiting. You are just coming to the charts, do analysis. So in this last 1 hour, we've done 2 analysis. It may wait to test the order block. Yep, it may. So that's why you gotta play around with your stop loss a bit. Yeah. Ideally, you don't want it to be too tight, like just below here. Just give it a good breathing space. And also, you also don't want to compensate so much where like your risk to reward becomes bad, right? So I think this is a healthy stop loss. There's a chance you might get wick out. There's a chance you might not get wick out. Yeah. So long position. It's a 1 to 2, not amazing. When I say not amazing, because the trades that I usually do are like this, right? When I find really good trades, maybe my stop loss a bit like longer. Yeah, so my trades last very long. My trades can last up to 2 days, and then it gives me like a healthy 3%, a healthy 4%, and that's all you need really. You don't need so many. Yeah, so that's all I have for EURUSD. Again, for it to meet, you need to do this. Before I do that, let's look at RSI. Sorry, RSI is already showing. RSI is showing a nice uptrend. Okay, so same. RSI is showing a break of trend. It is doing the exact same thing price is doing. There's a break of trend. So price was respecting here, respecting here, respecting here, and then it finally broke. This is a good sign for bullishness. Yeah, so another thing I can add in there is I think I am very happy with this analysis, but provided price need to break, come back, and then we can go in for the buy. If price doesn't break, I'm not going into this trade. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy with this analysis, to be honest. If price doesn't break, it means that it's going to respect this blue zone here. It's just going to go sideways like this. And then honestly, if I'm very aggressive, I will get in for a sell, but I'm not. I'm not very aggressive at this current point of time. So I'm just gonna wait for the breakout, right? I am just gonna wait for a breakout. If there's very strong indication of reversal here, back then the old me would get in here for a sell. But right now I'm more mellow. I just come up with one analysis and I follow that one analysis. So this is my analysis for EURUSD and I'm gonna follow it. Okay, if you guys wanna do the other way, That's entirely up to you, but please, please, please be cautious. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for joining my webinar. I will see you guys next Monday. We're going to do analysis and then we're going to review how the trades work out. So XAU USD wasn't showing very clear signs. Yeah, it wasn't showing very clear signs. I was more biased to it being bearish, right? Yeah. It wasn't showing very clear signs. I didn't really love it. I think EUR USD is showing clearer signs. The possibility of a trade, higher probability trade is on EUR USD. So this is one trade I'm gonna keep my eye on. I'm gonna look for it. Take note, reason why the trades are taking so long to play is because we are on the 4 hour and then we're going to the 1 hour. If you guys want to trade a bit more, you can go to the 1 hour and then the 15 minutes. Right? If you go 1 hour, see, there's a doji. Look at 15 minutes candle, doji, doji. Doji is a sign of uncertainty. Okay, doji, doji. If I see reversal candle, I might consider going in for a sell. But yeah, I don't see it. I see doji, doji means uncertainty, uncertainty. Price, people are either waiting it for it to reverse or to break as well. I'm waiting for it to break. If you're very aggressive, you want to wait for it to reverse, you can as well, but it's entirely up to you. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks, Jamilu. Thanks, TY. Thanks, Simo. Thanks, AJ, Siri. Thanks, Siri, for letting me know I was in replay mode. I use a replay mode a lot, by the way, because I do love backtesting. I do a lot of backtesting. If you don't do backtesting, you are not gonna be profitable in trading. Let me tell you that. Okay, and thank you, Charlie. I will see you guys again next week. Take care. Happy trading. I hope you guys are profitable. More importantly, I hope you guys are disciplined. I hope you guys are profitable, but I hope you're profitable because you got there by being disciplined. If you are profitable because you were gambling, I don't hope that for you because that's not going to last. Only discipline is going to help you last long in trading. Okay, so take care, guys. I will see you guys next week.